My name is Dougie Elgar and I'm Harvesting Manager at RTS. My dad was an estate manager in Yorkshire, managing a number of rural estates all over, and he always had an interest in forestry. Like many land agents, maybe thought he knew more than he did, to be quite honest, but he wouldn't take any badness for me saying that. And then I got into doing hand felling on a small clear fell that we had, and then had an older chap teach me growing up, sort of going from about 17 to sort of 18, 19. He was with me the whole time, just teaching me the do's and don'ts of the industry, and then that really got me fascinated with it all, and I just love it now. The hand cutting side was really good, and now going into the machinery. And then from then I went away for a year to New Zealand, well, to a couple of months to New Zealand, had a gap year from the school, and realised when I came back what I wanted to do was forestry. Applied for Cumbria Uni, did their forest management course there. I did the FDSC, so foundation one, so it was only 2 years rather than 3. And as my placement year, I was lucky enough to get interviewed and then a job with RTS. I did a year and a half with RTS, learnt a hell of a lot. I had a very good boss called Matt Kelly, who's now a timber buyer at Bedmax, and he was very patient with me, more patient than I think I'll ever be. What was nice was even on my placement year, I think after, I showed willing, I've got to say, I wanted to do well. I think about 5 or 6 months in, I went for my first tender and won it, which was great. And then towards the end of my time, Matt went on paternity leave, and I got left to run 11 harvesting sites as a student, and with other people in the background, I should say. And I finished it. I thought, well, if I can do that, I can probably come back and do this job. So I went back to Cumbria Uni, carried on working a couple of days a week with RTS and doing hand cutting, and then came back up, did a bit of contracting and RTS, and realised I needed to pick one. Came back to RTS, and then within sort of 7-8 months I had the harvesting manager role for the Creep office, and it's just been kind of going on from there really. I buy timber from standing sales, roadside, I go for tenders, we have our own estate work, I do farm jobs, and I travel all over from sort of up to Fettercairn in the Angus area, all the way down to sort of Northumberland and Yorkshire, looking for jobs, being a hungry timber buyer basically. It's a lot of work, it's constant work. I mean, talk to any harvesting manager, you can't stop. If you stop for a week, you find out 3 weeks later the work dries up. It's constant, but if you're hungry for it, I think it's a great job. So we're currently at Blackford Estate. This is one of our managed estates. This one was one of the compartments which was in the long-term forest plan. We've kind of slowly going through them all. It's about 5,500 tonne clear fell, doing Sitka spruce mostly, with a small amount of Norway spruce. And we've got FMC Harvesting, who've been with RTS for many, many years, harvesting this job today. Doing a great job, I should add. When I was on the soil and things, I was self-employed. And what almost appealed to me was that coming to RTS, I'm given a lot of responsibility, and good and bad. It's on you to sort your problems out and get things sorted. And there's always people there to talk to. Just me being me, I want to do it myself. So I am in charge of my own sites, of the people that work for me, and the relationships I form from that. And I'm given that opportunity every step of the way. And I think that's the main thing that I like it so much. And to be honest, a big thing coming from the hand cutting and contracting side, I like the way we look after our contractors, like the way our payments work, and I think that's a big thing for me to do. Yeah. Coming into it from the university, what they teach you, it's maybe like at university, isn't always what it's like in the industry, especially forest managers. I think it's a lot more paperwork and a lot of grants and things they don't maybe teach you so much about. They teach you about proper forestry. It does worry me, especially on the harvesting side. I think going forward, people going into it, harvesting is very much more about looking at the money side and the finances and the figures, and there's not a lot of people get into forestry for that. They get into it to replant and to do the management side. So I think the more education we could have potentially about harvesting would be better, because I think we'd maybe get more people in.
How would you like to see forestry develop, or maybe even your career develop, what more would you like to do? What more would you like to see happen in the industry?
It's quite a hard question, that, isn't it? My personal opinion of it all is that forestry is an industry and should be treated like that, and I'm very single-minded and appreciate of the harvesting side. And we use forestry, well, harvesting, say just an example. There's lots of terms put round the carbon and all these different things, but from my point of view, we should be looking at, we still import a huge amount of timber, and we should be looking at expanding our timber resource in the country and how we're harvesting, and the negative views that come against that, actually the benefits that come far outweigh any negatives. And we were talking about the amount of employment that it brings in, not just the guys and machines. There's hundreds of people involved in one site when you work out everyone that's involved. And I suppose I'd like to see more education towards that from the public, and I suppose it comes down to the government as well, accepting that we need these plantations and we need commercial timber to keep supporting these guys.